What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the very first video of the Gabe Dutton Show. And today, for my very first video, I have two people joining me today. One of my friends named Kalen. Kalen, say what's up.
What's up, y'all?
And then I have my little brother named Will.
What's up?
And today we are going to start talking about some of the major... technically you could say that we're talking about just any type of sports, literally. Like, we're just... like
this week in sports.
just honestly, we're just going to be talking about sports and stuff like that. But, so how this is going to work is that we're going to have two sections where, as you can see on the screen right here, we'll show you all the scores of all the sports that happened, like, last night or, like, over the week and stuff. But on here, we're going to show you the NBA scores from last night, and then we'll get into the main category or whatever we're going to be talking about for this video. Okay, let's go ahead and start with our first topic. We're going to talk about the NBA scores from last night. Okay, starting out with the
Pistons at Hornets. Hornets destroyed the Pistons 140 to 111. Then you have 76ers at Magic. The 76ers beat the Magic 116 to 106. You have Rockets at Wizards. Rockets beat the Wizards 114 to 111. You have the Spurs at the Celtics. Spurs beat the Celtics 99 to 97.
Hey, buddy, you're saying the wrong ones on the screen. How about you just look at the screen? You're good. We're good.
Yeah.
This is our very first video. You know what?
fine.
It's okay.
It's fine.
It's a first video. Okay, just look at the screen.
We have Warriors at Mavericks. The Mavericks beat the Warriors 99 to 82.
And I want to say something real quick about this game. This game, if you look at our wall right here, the one and only Dirk Nowitzki got his jersey retired last night. He had an amazing career. He played 21 games for Dallas, the longest ever streak for one player playing at one organization. That's crazy. And he had, I don't even know how many all-star appearances he had, stuff. I just wanted to take this moment in like saying all the scores and stuff for last night's game, because it was a very, very important game between, as you can tell if you look at the wall, my two favorite NBA teams. So, you know what? I'm saying congratulations to Dirk. We can all say that he had an amazing career, top 6 in scoring. Right, Kayla? I think. Do you agree with me? I think he was
one of the best of all time.
Honestly.
In the Mavericks organization.
Honestly. Okay, so let's continue on.
We have the Raptors at the Bucks. The Raptors beat out the Bucks 117 to 111. We have the Thunder at the Timberwolves. The Thunder lost to the Timberwolves 90 to 98.
Okay.
We have Utah at Denver. The Jazz beat out the Nuggets 115 to 109. And the Heat at the Trailblazers. The Heat put the Heat on the Trailblazers 115 to 109.
Epic pun.
Then we have the Hawks at the Kings. The Hawks beat the Kings 108 to 102.
Okay, so for our main topic for this video, we are going to be talking about the upcoming week. The last week of the NFL season is going to be our main topic for today. And also, too, this could really change the outlook of the playoffs.
Yeah, there's a lot riding on this week. First seeds in divisions are up for grabs, and wild card spots are being secured.
Honestly, like, if we really want to, like, talk about it, there's, like, a game in particular that I've been looking at is the Chargers and the Raiders game.
Yeah.
Because they honestly said, like, whoever wins this game can make it to the playoffs.
Yeah,
so it comes down.
What it's up to. But that game also can be affected by the Jaguars-Colts game, because if the Colts lose to the Jaguars, then both of those teams are already guaranteed spots in the playoffs. So it could be a very interesting game if they decide to actually play at all, because they could just kneel every play.
Honestly.
And tie it up 0-0 and both make it to playoffs.
Honestly, like, I'll give you a little bit of a demonstration, a little bit, because, like, Will, example, this is his last year of, you say SYSA, like, sports, until he starts playing in 7th grade next year in school sports. Like, his team made the playoffs. Yeah, they didn't go on to the Super Bowl, but, like, that changed the outcome. Just basically like that. And so, but as we know, the teams and stuff that are literally already in the playoffs, we know, like, the Cowboys, the Bucks already in, the Packers, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, like, honestly, like, we got 1 week left, and who knows, like, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah. And there's so many different scenarios that could happen. In the AFC, both the Chiefs or the Bengals could secure the 1 seed, depending on who wins and who loses.
Honestly. Like, okay, so we obviously know that we have Cowboys stuff hanging up here on the walls. We got just a lot of Cowboy stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
But, okay, so I want to get y'all's take on, like, how do you think the Cowboys have done this year? Like, obviously, like what is y'all's opinion? Will, what do you think on the opinion of the Cowboys?
Well, they started off the season pretty good. Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott had a pretty good 6 games. But past those games, their offense has been a little bit off lately. Dak Prescott hasn't been doing so good. So if they can turn that around in the playoffs like they did against the Washington, that one they scored 50, I think they should pretty beat any team in the playoffs.
Yeah, I completely agree. Kalen, what's your opinion of the Cowboys, honestly?
My opinion is that if the Cowboys, if their defense remains the way that they've been playing, and if Dak and Zeke can perform at the top of their game, then they can make it all the way. It just depends on how their offense performs. Because we've seen whenever their offense has performed, they've done really well. But whenever their offense has done poorly, they've struggled.
Yeah, honestly, because, like, you can say, though, because, like, we try to watch every Cowboys game. Shoot, we went, me and a really good friend, like, my aunt, we went to a Cowboys game, like, a couple weeks ago to the Washington game. And
Very good game.
That was a very good game. They were literally, like, 3 points away from tying their record. I mean, it was crazy. But honestly, like what y'all were saying, like, we start off really hot, 6-1, and then we went on a cold spell, and it's just like, well, maybe, like, every team has their funks, but like as you can tell, though, like, that one game of the Washington game, but I was like, our offense has not been what they've been doing, like, the first half of the season. That's why I'm, like, kind of worried about.
The main deal was that it was about getting back into a groove with Dak and Zeke being healthy and stuff, because our cold streak started after Dak was out for that one game and they had Cooper Rush in because Dak was hurt. And then it seemed like the rhythm that they had on offense was thrown off a little bit.
Yeah.
And going into the playoffs, they're looking pretty solid health-wise. Sure, we're missing Michael Gallup, but we had already been missing him for 7 games of this season, and Cedric Wilson has stepped up in his place.
Honestly, yeah, I completely agree with that. But, like, for what the season comes down to now after Week 18, are we going to be one and done? Or are we going to make it to the divisional? Or are we going to make it to the NFC Championship game that we have not gone to in 25 years?
And also for this game coming up, Michael Parsons may be out. So
yeah, speaking of that, he went.
This week 18,
Our
Micah Parsons is questionable going into this week.
Yeah, it's just, well, honestly, like, I'd rather it be this week, but because, like, honestly, if we don't win this game, it's not a big deal because we already locked in the NFC East.
Yeah, and we just have to. they're probably going to sit some of their star players anyway just to give them a rest or not play them as much. But the main deal is that in the playoffs, we have to be able to make it through the first round. And then for once, we have to be able to beat Green Bay in the playoffs, which that has been a struggle in the past.
Oh, yeah, it has. It's been definitely a struggle.
Yeah, we just have to be able to beat Green Bay in the playoffs because they're likely going to be the team that we're playing with against in
Could be. If we make it to the divisional round. Yeah. Because we have to play in the wild card first. We had a chance to get a first round bye.
Yeah.
But we blew the game. Blew the game to the Cardinals. That's frustrating. That Cardinals game was a fumble. That was a fumble. They had no timeouts to review that.
Yeah, that I heard about that. I didn't see that one in person, but I did, or on TV, but I did hear about that on the radio, and that was frustrating because the fact that they could not challenge that call, but it is what it is. The Cardinals are also a very good team.
Well,
and,
yeah.
That has also gone through a bit of a cold spell lately, actually. They're in a very similar position to the Cowboys going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I feel like the main team, the main two teams out of the NFC that can make it to the Super Bowl that are most likely to are probably either going to be Cowboys, Bucks, or Green Bay. And then in the AFC, we're looking at the Chiefs or the Bengals, most likely.
Honestly. Yeah. So, if I had to ask y'all this right now, well, I'll start with you first. The NFC and the AFC right now, which team do you have? It's kind of hard choice. The playoffs don't start for another week. But what is your two teams, predicting right now, the two teams going to the Super Bowl?
Both NFC.
The NFC and the AFC.
So, I feel like Green Bay has a really good chance to make the Super Bowl.
I can see that.
I really want to have the Dallas Cowboys go to the Super Bowl, but who knows? It's the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
And in AFC, the Chiefs have been doing. After those 4 games that they lost, have been doing very good past those games. Their defense has got a lot better, so I kind of want the Bengals though, the underrated team.
So we got the Packers and the Bengals. Wow. So that's an interesting choice. Kalen?
So the way that I see it, I think that the Cowboys can make it because all that has to happen with Green Bay, basically, because Green Bay's pretty much Aaron Rodgers. That is Green Bay. If Aaron Rodgers has one bad game, then they're out of the playoffs. And then it comes down to Cowboys or Bucks.
Honestly,
and
yeah.
I think that we were really close to beating the Bucks in the first game that we played them.
We had the lead. We gave them a minute and like 20 seconds to march down the field. Shoot, he threw the ball out of bounds 3 times.
Yeah, and the deal is that our young defense has grown since that first game. And so I feel like if we have to face the Bucks, then it will be the Cowboys that come out on top. So my choice for the NFC is the Cowboys. And then with how Joe Burrow has gone through in these last few games, the amount of touchdowns, the amount of yards, I'm picking the Bengals. Him and Jamar Chase, their duo, I'm thinking they're going to the Super Bowl. So I'm saying Cowboys-Bengals Super Bowl.
Okay. So we've had 2 people choose Cincinnati. Okay, so obviously now it's my turn to choose. So I'm going to start with the NFC first. Honestly, like we can never count out Tom Brady. I'm just saying we've done that before, and what happened? Last year he won a Super Bowl.
It's Tom Brady. He defines age.
Honestly, he's 44 years old. But, okay, well, past the point, the the couple teams I see, obviously, I want to say Cowboys because I'm a Cowboys fan, obviously. But there's a downside to that. We could easily choke. We haven't been to an NFC Championship game in a quarter of a century. But honestly, if the Cowboys do really good in the wild card game, really good, they show really, really high-level gameplay and stuff like that, just all on point, syncing with each other and just flowing through the game like no problem. Yeah, they definitely can. No. But I'm going to have to go with the Packers coming out of the NFC. I know I'm a Cowboys fan and I'm picking the Packers, but shoot, look what they've done. If they win this game on Sunday, they could be 14-3. Shoot, I mean, like, I can't really say much about that. But so I have Packers in the NFC, but AFC, I know the Bengals is tough, but you can't count out those Chiefs. You can't count out the Chiefs. I know they lost.
Against the Bengals?
Yeah, they lost against the Bengals. That game, they had fourth down twice with penalties. That game could easily change. They were up 21-7.
But Jamar Chase was on a roll.
Jamar Chase, I understand, went off.
He went off.
It all depends on the Kansas City O-line.
Honestly, but you just can't count out the Chiefs. The Chiefs could easily make it 3 years in a row where they make it to the Super Bowl. You just can't count them out. They were playing really bad at the beginning of the year. But look at the second half. Shoot, 8-game win streak? Dude, you got to take that into consideration. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm picking the Chiefs. I have Packers and Chiefs. Now, next time when you're on the show, I almost said Landon. I'm sorry. That's one of my other friends' names that will be eventually coming on the show, Kaylin. We're going to look at this whenever you're back on, hopefully right before the Super Bowl starts. I'm pretty sure you will be. We can look back at this and see if we were right. Because I have Packers and Chiefs. But
Bengals.
You got Cowboys and Bengals. And Will has got the Packers, right? Packers or
Cowboys.
Packers or Cowboys. And then he's got the Bengals as well. Mm-hmm. But honestly, like, you can just say, too, that Tennessee has a bye. And they're getting Derrick Henry back.
Oh, yeah, that's big.
Oh,
yeah. Think about that. They got Derrick Henry back. He practiced yesterday.
Yeah. And people are saying that he was fully healthy. He was ready to go.
Yeah.
I say they need to rest him, though, this week. Just to be safe. Because if they win, they have a bye. But if they lose...
But they still make it to the playoffs.
The only risk, I might say, in resting him is that whenever a player comes off an injury, they have to shake off the dust a little bit.
Honestly.
And if you rest him this week and don't let him shake off the dust, then he might go into the playoffs cold, and you would not want that.
No, you wouldn't.
Especially with that bye, because then he would get even colder.
Yeah, and also, too, like, I think, their team has been hurt most of the season. They've been hurt, and now they're saying that they have most of their team back healthy. Got Julio Jones finally getting healthy. A.J. Brown's been coming back doing really good. But how their team has been doing really good, how they did against the 49ers like a couple weeks ago, and how they've been doing like that. With Derrick Henry coming back and he gets fully healthy, fully going again, that team's going to be a team to be reckoned with. So like I said, I picked Chiefs. Who knows? The Titans could make a run. We really don't know. I'll tell you one thing about this NFL season. It's been one strange season. How can you have the Bills losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars 9-0? I'm telling you, this season, I've really enjoyed this season, but it's been a really strange one. I can say anything can happen. We can't forget about the Colts either. Jonathan Taylor, shoot, he could win MVP.
He broke the all-time record for the most yards.
And the fact
Not quite, but
And the fact that looking at the rookie quarterbacks that have been in this season, who would have thought that Mac Jones would have done the best out of the rookie quarterbacks coming in?
you would have told me this, that if you would have told me at the beginning of the season that the New England Patriots would have a chance to have the number 1 seed. They were the number 1 seed for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, they were, but
You would
well,
have
they
laughed
lost.
at me.
Yeah. But yeah, I would have laughed at you.
Yeah.
But they're 10-6.
And if you would have told me about 3 weeks into the season that the Raiders were going to be they barely got a chance to make it into the playoffs,
Yeah.
I would have laughed at you looking at that team. But with what they've had to go through,
Honestly,
it's a wonder that they're even this close to the playoffs.
yeah. I mean, like we said at the very beginning of the show today, they play Sunday night. It's a 7:20 game, evening game. It's the Raiders and the Chargers. That game's going to be huge.
Still, all comes down.
It comes down to that.
Yeah, it comes down to that game, or it comes down to the Colts. If Jonathan Taylor chokes, it's game over for the Colts.
Because
Yeah.
it's Carson Wentz.
It's Carson Wentz. It's Carson Wentz. That's all we got to say. But honestly, yeah, who knows? That's all we can say. We're just going to have to wait and find out what's going to happen. And also, to one quick honorable mention that I would like to say for Steelers fans. I know some people that are huge Steelers fans that I'm going to go ahead and say, Yo Boy Pizza. And them like that. You probably don't know who they are, but they're huge Steelers fans. And Ben Roethlisberger just played his last game at Heinz Field.
I call him Big Ben,
18 years. That was his last game at Heinz Field. He's got one more game left. But I want a quick shout out to Steelers fans and Ben Roethlisberger. He's had an amazing career for y'all. And he's won y'all 2 Super Bowls. He's Hall of Famer. Hall of Fame quarterback, in my opinion. Do you agree?
Yeah. And another thing about the Steelers is Mike Tomlin, even this year, has not had a losing season.
That is true. He has not had a losing season.
Yeah, he managed to get another 8-8 season this year. It's either going to be an 8-8 or 9-7 season, which means that he cannot lose. He is
that shows you that, and also too, he stuck with Antonio Brown for 9 years, right? What I think
it was Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell that were that team.
It was that team, yeah. Well,
and now look at them separate from that.
Honestly,
Antonio Brown is now possibly out of the NFL for good, and then Le'Veon Bell is an afterthought.
We got to say his temper tantrum. Y'all love his temper tantrum. Oh, that was amazing. But yeah. Well, Le'Veon Bell, he's on the Bucs. He could win a Super Bowl. He's on the Bucs. If they don't cut him, he could win a Super Bowl with them. He's on the Bucs right now.
That's true, but he's also behind Leonard Fournette and stuff. He's the background back there.
Yeah. Sorry, we are distracted by our dog going across some of our chairs right there. We call her Puffball. Okay. Well, I think this has been a really good first video, in my opinion. Well, episode, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Because it's a podcast show. Because it's obviously a podcast. We're talking for a little bit and stuff like that. But you're watching it at the same time. So we can call it the show. But this has been a really good first show, in my opinion, first video. I really hope y'all enjoyed and watched through the full thing. If y'all like this type of content and y'all like to keep up daily with sports, we'll literally not just talk about the NFL. We'll talk about NBA. We'll talk about baseball when it comes out. We talk about college football and stuff like that. I would start a lot sooner, but obviously I had to get prepared, get all this shit set up. It's been in the works for a really long time. So if y'all really like this content and stuff, please subscribe. It's free. It just takes 2 seconds to click the red button down there. Make sure you turn on notifications and leave a like. It really helps out a lot. And that's it for me. And thank y'all so much for coming for the very first video of the show, and be making another one tomorrow and stuff. Honestly, you could be part of it again if you wanted to, if you're available. But thank y'all so much again for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Thank y'all again for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Will, for showing up too as well. And that'll be it. And we will see y'all on the next video. See y'all.
Peace.